Greetings everyone, welcome back to Cinema Prescriptions, where we dive deep into a film and prescribe you what you need to enjoy the film. I am your host, Mr. Dr. Rice, and we are here to review Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's take a look. The director of this film is Emma Tammi. This is her second feature film she's directed. The first was called The Wind. I haven't seen that one yet, and she's also directed a podcast series called The Left Right Game. I love to see movies from new directors because they have such a fresh take and you don't know what to expect. So let's see what she got going on with this one. So good comparison films for this one would be, I guess it reminds me a little bit of The Black Phone, with how Mike, the main character, was attempting to figure out what happened to his brother in the past by attempting to have lucid dreams to remember the face of the person that killed his brother. It also kind of reminds me of a Chucky film, like, you know how Chucky's a possessed doll. He seems like a regular doll until, like, you're not looking at it, he turns out to be a killer. I mean, those are the two closest films that I remember that are like this. So the budget for this movie was $20 million, which is around the mid to high range for a Blumhouse production. They like to keep their budgets low so that it's easier for them to make their money back and make a profit. So they typically make movies around $7 million. I think the highest they paid was, I think, $35 million for The Exorcist Believer. But I feel like they've been getting a lot more established series and franchises. So The Exorcist is a pretty big franchise, so they're willing to pay more money. Five Nights at Freddy's is a popular video game series. They feel that more people will show up for this film, so they'll pay more money to make it a good film. I feel like they utilized their budget pretty well. The animatronic animals at Freddy's look pretty cool. They had this cartoonish look to them. Each moving part of the animatronic was puppeteered by different people. So that gave those animals a unique look, and their movements were pretty cool. Also, Freddy's Pizzeria was a pretty cool location. They did really well designing that setting. So I feel like they utilized their budget really well. I feel like horror films should always have like a lower budget, nothing over like 30 million. That way, I feel like horror directors always have more creativity because they have lower budget to work with, and they just can't throw money at their problems. The synopsis for this film is Mike Smith, a troubled security guard, accepts a nighttime job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a once successful but now abandoned family entertainment center, where he discovers that its four animatronic mascots, Freddy Fazbear, Bunny, Chica, and Foxy, move and kill anyone that is still there after midnight. So that's a pretty interesting synopsis for a film. I feel like they left out the part where Mike is actually looking into what happened to his brother at a young age. So when you read a synopsis like this, you want to understand the question that comes to mind is like, what's making these animals move at night? Is midnight significant or something like that? And like, what conflicts will Mike run into knowing about the animals that move at night? What makes this film easy to love? Definitely the animatronics. I feel like the costumes look great. They do justice to the video game. I've never played them, but from the pictures that I've seen, they look identical to what you would see in the video game. I like how they move, and it's just really cool to see the design of them. I love the setting of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It looks great. I love the neon light. I just love how the film's lit when they're in the pizza place. What makes this film hard to love? Probably the lack of gore. This is a PG-13 film. Yeah, I understand why they did it. It's easier for them to reach their younger audience with a PG-13 film rather than a rated R movie, but it's a little disappointing that they went that route. So the lack of gore definitely like these are animatronic animals. I want to see them like I want to see blood and gore. I want to see creative deaths. That's why you see movies like this. You don't see it for like the story or anything like that. You want to see like how can these animatronic animals kill people. So that should be the selling point for a movie like this. Like, look at Chucky. That's how it made its bread and butter. Megan just made its bread and butter being rated R, but I guess it's not a video game movie, so it makes sense. It has a couple scenes where it pushes the PG-13, but I mean, there's nothing like over the top violent. What could also make the film hard to love is that the story is kind of, I wasn't really feeling it, but I'm not really a fan of the series. Like I said before, that's just a problem like video game movies have. They have to balance whether they're going to be fan service. They have to balance between being fan service and also opening up to a broader audience that haven't played the video games like me. So I mean, I like Mike's development as a character. He was going through a lot of things, like him looking for his brother, using lucid dreams, trying to remember what happened at a younger age. He also had to fight for his younger sister to keep her in his custody. And I felt like he definitely always had something to do, but I felt like the story and the film just forgot to be a horror film. Like, there was not a point in the film I was afraid at all, and it wasn't really entertaining to me. This film should have been a little more fun and a little more suspenseful, but it wasn't. And it goes back to the PG-13 rating. So overall, what makes this film easy to love? The animatronic animals, their design and production value are pretty great. Also, the setting of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was amazing. What makes it hard to love is that the film is PG-13. The story is kind of boring, and the film forgets to be a horror film most of the time. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.